Hey everyone. Hi, good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue here for our Friday morning Cricut Chat. I want to make sure I can get some people on. Today we're going to be talking about some Christmas cards. Everybody wanted to see more Christmas cards. And I have a sort of a favorite Christmas card image set cartridge. It was a cartridge back in the day. So I have a favorite image set that I want to show you. It is an Anna Griffin image set, and it's just really adorable. It's called Christmas Kitsch, which is what is the word that I'm looking for? It's a catch-all word. It's kind of, I think it's Yiddish. It means sort of cutesy, but kind of garish. Good morning. Good morning to Wanda and Constance and Linda. Good morning. Thanks for coming. So there are a couple of twists and turns about this cartridge that I want to show you because there are things that I've done this cartridge, the cards in this cartridge, and I'm showing you two here and two that I just assembled. Here's that snowman one, and what you don't see on the screen is I use this really cute patterned paper, and I want to show you how to have a sentiment in here and a few of the roadblocks, because this is a shaped card on the front and it's a square card in the back. So maybe you'd like to put a sentiment, but you don't know where to put it because it's not completed here. Same thing with the Santa. Santa's a little easier because it sort of covers most of it, but the snowman, not so much, right? So how do you do that with patterned paper? How do you do that? And how do you put the sentiment on there? I want to show you that today. And then, I wanted to tell you, everything's great, Baron. Thank you. I'm a little bit flustered this morning just because I don't know, I seem to have run out of time, and I didn't get a chance to really put a lot of effort into the cards, but I feel like I've done them before, so that's good too. Anyway, so these are great cards. They're, not super religious, so you don't have to worry in this day and age or whatever. But the thing, there are a few pitfalls in them, in that putting a sentiment, it's a little bit hard because the way that they're designed here, let me just get up here. Okay. So the way, let me ungroup this. So the way that they're designed, did I ungroup the right one? No, I didn't ungroup. Okay. Is that they have this back, of course, I ungrouped that one. Here we go. So this is the back of the card. Now, I want to say that these are not specifically for the joy, but you can modify them as long as you take out the scoring and you do that modification like we did before, where you would cut off this part and put it on a blank, card background. So I'm doing these ones on my maker. I figured it would be best to take some time to show you how to do the sentiment instead of going and showing you how to modify. I dropped my tool caddy. Third time I dropped my tool caddy. It's still not broken, by the way. Still not broken. Okay, I gotta find a better place for this thing. Anyway, yeah, so today I'm a little bit like messed up, I guess. I'm a little messed up, but I wanted to tell you, last night I was thinking, and I think Saturday night date night should be the glittered ornaments with the vinyl on the outside, and how to make the glittered ornaments, and how to put the glitter on the inside, and then how to put the vinyl on the outside. So I'm hoping that show will go well. And I will probably do the vinyl because it's perfect with the ornaments, the size. I'll do the vinyl with the joy. So, all right, I'm fussing. All right. So I know, Dorothy, take a deep breath. I know, because I'm just like, flustered today. But anyway, so here's what we're doing today. This is, oh good, you like the glittered ornaments for tomorrow night? Date night? Everybody likes that idea? Yeah, because it takes a little while. There's different steps. There's making the ornaments and how to put them, dry them, what you need, and all of that stuff. And then the putting the vinyl on the outside. It's a little bit tricky, and I can show you some of that. Okay, so this morning we're doing, deep breath. Okay, so this morning we're doing these cards from Anna Griffin, and they're called Christmas Kitsch, which is a Yiddish word for cutesy but sort of garish, like kind of like 1950s sort of thing, vintagey, that kind of thing. And let me show you where we're going to find that. We're going to go to images, and my favorite place, image sets, right here. And we're going to look for Anna. So we're going to type in Anna. And as you know, it comes up with like over 40 different cartridges, and we've done several of these, but scroll down, and this is called Anna's Christmas Kitsch. There's 75 images. The thing I like about this set is that it takes the same images and it puts it in different types of styles of cards, and then also they give them to you separate so that you can design your own card if you want. So what I mean by that is, like, here is the snowman that we're doing, but if you scroll on down, you can see that we have this snowman that's just a cutout, very simple. It's just a cutout, very similar to like an insert card. And then also here, down here, you have the snowman separate, okay? So you can sort of grab and do all different styles here. And then there are also tags. And let's see, there are so many cards here, and because of that, you know, using it a different way. So there's Santa, and here's the other Santa. And then I believe we have Santa separately. Where is he? There he is. And then also a lot of really nice embellishments for the front of the card. Really, just really pretty. And so I come back to this card set again and again at Christmas time because I find it's like lighthearted and sort of fun. And then I can use things like this vintage paper pad. I'm going to show you. This is a one that I got from Michael's. It's a patterned paper. It's called Classic Vintage. I'm sure they'll have it again. This was one of those hot buys. When you buy them at Michael's, wait until they go on sale, okay? Because often, I think the retail price of these hot buys is like $19.99, which is not really a hot buy. But when they go on sale, often you can get them for $4 or $5. Oh, that's wonderful to hear, Jamie. So this vintage paper has some really beautiful things, like this awesome scene of Santa with his reindeers. And look at all of these. Really, this is kind of stuff like I grew up with. And I just love this paper. This looks awesome with the Santa scene and also with the snowman scene. So this is a great paper that you can buy. But there are others out there. This one, you know, you don't have to just get this one if they don't sell it. But it's a great idea to get it at Michael's. But while you're at Michael's, a lot of times people ask me, in fact, I just got an email asking me for my opinion of the best cardstock. And I want to tell you what, and I want to show you, because I often tell you, but I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is the cardstock that I often mention. Take this off so it doesn't look shiny. Okay, this is from Michael's. It's Michael's brand, which is Recollections, okay? This particular one is all red because I got it at Christmas. It comes with 50 sheet. Okay, good. So Shelly's saying right now paper pads are buy one, get two free. That's really good. Oh, and thank you, Wanda, to mention that. So that's really good. You want to like kind of go there, and this time of year they probably will be getting fall and Christmas, and they are upping their game on these pads. They really are. So, you know, a couple years ago they were kind of, but now they're getting better. So this is the kind of paper that I use all the time. It cuts like a butter on a Cricut. And it comes in either solid, and this is solid white, you know, no white quartz, solid all the way through, colors. It comes in either a one color pack, or you can get it in like 4 or 5 different colors. They have different names and whatever. Also wait for these to be on sale, because they often, I think they're like $5 or $6. So in a pinch, you know, it's not going to break the bank, but they often will go on sale for like $2 or even, you know, like $2, sometimes a little under $2 right at Christmas time. So this is stuff that definitely want to stock up on. And even though it's 8.5 by 11, it's the perfect size for making A2 cards, because it cuts in half for A2. It's great for joy users too. They're not dealing with a large piece of paper. And it just because you have a mat that's 12 by 12 doesn't mean that you have to use paper that's 12 by 12, okay? So, often you can use scraps and all of that. So this, for me, is a really frugal answer to crafting cards, okay? So Michael's, it's at Michael's. I would say that's probably my number one place where I get cardstock. Now, if I need 12 by 12 cardstock, I love Cricut cardstock. My only complaint there is that it doesn't come in enough colors. And it comes in the basics like white and black, navy, red, green, the red, if I said red, the pinks are kind of iffy because they have a pink that looks like a peach to me. But the other colors, there's no browns, there's no different color blues. So I feel like I don't get the colors that I want. They have a nice pumpkin though. So for making pumpkin things in the fall. So what I do is if I can, I stock up on the Cricut cardstock 12 by 12 when it's on sale. And then if I cannot find a color I'm looking for, I will go and get Basil. It's Bazzil, Basil cardstock. And you can buy that in a pack of 20, or you can buy it individually, sheets. Obviously going to pay more per sheet if you buy it individually. But if you just need like one sheet of something, then just buy one sheet, and you can usually do that at Michael's. But if you know you're going to need, I don't know, 30 sheets of brown for something for the fall, then you can buy it as a pack at places like createforless.com. You can probably also buy them at like scrapbook.com and other places, but it's called Basil. And Basil has a different kinds of texture. They have like, they call them different things, grass and textured Swiss dot, but I always just get the plain, textured. It's a very light texture. So enough about paper. So if you're wondering about paper, that's what I do. It's mostly from Michael's because it's convenient, it's often on sale, and it's really good paper. It cuts really, really well. Okay, so enough about that. And it works really well on the Joy too because it's smaller. Okay. So these cards are really fun, and all you'd have to do is just kind of find them and pull them in. But what about if you want a sentiment inside? And there aren't any sentiments in this grouping for some reason. I don't know why. But this came out early, several years ago. So this is all you would do is grab this, and then you'd have to go back to the rest of the images if you want to pull in one of her sentiments, or you could do your own sentiment, of course. But let's just go to one of her Christmas cards groupings. This one is called Christmas Cards and Embellishments, and I think this is Anna's Christmas cards and embellishments. It's the first of 2. So let's just pick something innocuous, like Happy Christmas to You. Maybe pick Season's Greetings also. We'll pull those in. Now, look at the way that it's set up on the page, the base of the card. And you realize this is the front, so that means this is the back. But where does the sentiment go? The sentiment goes on the inside, right? So the first thing we have to do is we have to think about where the sentiment's going to go, and then we have to arrange our paper in that way. So one of the cool tricks that a lot of people don't use a lot is flipping. Flipping is up here, sort of like halfway across on your toolbar. You see that? It's flip. There's these 2 arrows kind of touching each other, and you can flip horizontal, you can flip vertical, but we're going to flip horizontal. Let me show you that. Now, all of a sudden, you're seeing the back side of the card. Okay. And this is great. This is great because now you can put a sentiment inside. And remember, we went and picked up these sentiments. These are obviously too big, right? But we're going to resize it. And now when we put the paper on the mat, what are we going to do? We're going to pick out a patterned paper, and we're going to put pattern side down. And so it will be white paper showing, okay? So we're going to like resize this. Now, one of the things you have to be concerned about is this is a shaped card in the front, you see? And so if you put your sentiment up too high, you'll see through it, and that won't be good because you'll be like, that's not cool. That's not professional looking. So we're going to try to aim to get this. That's why I have it over here. I just want to like make sure it's not going to show. And so if I move it over here, I think, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But I think if I move it over here, now normally I put my sentiments kind of up high and in the middle, but for this kind of card, maybe down here and a little to the left more. See, there's a little more space on the right and left. I suppose I saw Lori Jo do something that I really liked, and she put it down here on the bottom, which I thought that's kind of cool too, you know, but let's for this one do it here. And now we have to attach the sentiment into or onto the card base. That's always, you have to do that. A lot of times people, they're like, I got a sentiment, I put it there, and now when it shows up, and let me show you what I mean about that. Let's pretend that we're going to cut this, and I go to make it, whoop, up, I have the wrong, I have it on maker. Why does it say my project is incompatible? Oh, I know. Duh. Because I have one of those little arrow, those draw things. If you get that message, product is incompatible, it can be 2 things. It can be that you have to just change the pen color. You go up here to the top left where it says draw, and you'll see that there is a question mark. So here, see, there's a question mark. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a question mark here. That means that my pen is not selected. So I just have to go and select whatever pen. That's that. And the other way you could possibly get that message is if you have the wrong machine. Okay. So let me just hide this. So let's say, all right, I'm going to make this snowman card. I have the sentiment. I have it where I want it. And now I'm going to, but I didn't attach it. And now I'm going to cut it. Let me show you what happens. All of a sudden your sentiment appears, but it's just like floating around in nowhere land. It's not attached to our card. We don't want that. So we have to come back and make sure that it's attached. So once you get it, you place it, grab the whole image, just that image. Don't grab the snowman, okay? Because that causes problems with your image, all right? So grab the whole piece and go down to here, bottom here, attach. It's a paper clip, okay? Attach. Now it's on there, and now when we go to make it, let's see, it's not floating around in nowhere land. It's there on my card. Okay? So let's do the same thing for Santa. I know I unattached this. Let's bring this over here. By the way, if you ever ungroup an image, you see this is ungrouped, and you want to move it all but not group it back, you can group it back, obviously. But if you just want to move it all at once, or if you just have a bunch of images you just want to kind of clear out of your workspace, just put the box around them, and then while the box is around them, just move it, and it moves together. Okay? So there's our snowman. I'm going to group it back because it will function better. All right, let's hide the snowman. I'm doing that by going to where there's an eyeball and touching on the eyeball. It hides it but doesn't erase it. And here's Santa. And let's see, this is our saying, Happy Christmas to you. So let me show you that again. So first we're going to ungroup it. All right. And we have, this is the back. You can just move this out of the way for when you want to use it. All right, so there's our base, okay? But we want, because the base is showing the front of the card. So we want to put, here is where we want to put the sentiment, okay? So we have to flip our image so we can put the sentiment in the right, or on the right side. So it shows inside, go up to flip and flip horizontal. Hi, Paula. Hi, Amy. So we're flipping horizontal, and here's our sentiment. We've got to size it down. It comes in really large. If it shows behind, right? See, it's right there. It's showing behind. So if we want to make it appear on the front so we can put it in the right place, we can choose, arrange, right? Arrange allows you, sort of like it's what it sounds like. If you have a bunch of piles of paper on your desk, you can arrange them, move some to the front, move some to the back. So this one we want to move to the front, send to the front. And now it shows up in the front. Isn't that cool? So it's still not attached. I want to make sure that I put it in a right place, and maybe I like this idea that Laurie Jo put it down here. I thought that was kind of cool. It was really ingenious, Laurie. I don't know if she's on this morning, but I just wanted to give her kudos. But I like this. But so here it looks good to me, and I think that it will be fine. And it's right at the thickest part. You see? So it will be covered by his beard. So let's attach it. Do the box around the whole thing. Go down here to attach where the paper clip is. Attach it, and now it is attached to that base. I did it so yeah, but I mean it's really clever, and it's a great way. Laurie Jo is on, and she said I did it so it would fit. Hey, no problem with me. I think that's a great idea. And so, okay, so let's group this together. And let's see. So we're working with these two cards, but just to kind of show you, this card also from the Kitsch, we would do the same thing. This is the back of the card. We want to put the sentiment on the front of the card. But in this particular case, we would probably ungroup. Let's see, ungroup. Let's get this. Okay, here we go. Move these pieces out of the way. This is an adorable card. All right, so we would probably want to flip it both ways, horizontal and vertical. So we go up to flip, and we would do horizontal, and then we would flip vertical. So now, I know it's a little bit harder to conceptualize. Maybe, is this the right thing? Do we want to Christmas? No, I think that we want to flip, sorry about that. We didn't want to flip horizontal. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we wanted to flip vertical. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So now you're looking at the card, inside of the card, and this is where you would put the sentiment, okay? So there are a couple of different cards there, and they have different ways. This one here is like a fold this way, and the other one's a fold at the top, okay? So let's go ahead and cut this. We'll cut the snowman one because I think it's adorable. And it comes in on 4 mats. Now, one of the things to save paper that I often do is I will make, especially I'm using this 8.5 by 11 inch paper, I will often make 2, and if I can squeeze it in, 4. I don't ever do odd amounts because you'll see if you change the project copy to, let's say, 3, you'll notice, okay, this might fit on 8.5 by 11 and the black fits on 8.5 by 11. But when you come down here, you have 2 on this one page and only 1 here. Well, if I switch it to 4, then I'm using a full page. So I often will just, like full page here, but then I need a full page. It doesn't make sense. So what I end up doing is I do project copies for 2. Because I feel like I'm using enough of the 8.5 by 11, and you can move these little guys around if you're not sure that it's going to fit. And this is a 12 by 12 sheet, and this is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, or that I'm explaining it correctly. I want to be frugal about using my paper, and I don't necessarily want to have so many scraps, although scraps are good. And I wouldn't just use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and throw the rest out if I'm just cutting out little pieces, okay? Yes, so Clarinda is asking me, is there a way to cut the Santa and the snowman at the same time? Absolutely. It's what I did this morning. So let's get our Santa back. Where's Santa? Santa, where are you? There's also a reindeer, by the way. It's really cute. So where did I put Santa? Nope, wrong one. Nope, wrong one. Wrong one. Nope, not this one, not the reindeer. Where did I put Santa? Oh, I don't know. What? Oh, there he is. Okay. So we've got Santa and we've got the snowman, and we want to cut them out. And actually this is a really good one to do together because they have similar colors. They got red, black, white, and then the base. Okay, so let's cut them both together. Yeah, party foil. Christine is saying the red would be pretty in the party foil. Yeah, absolutely. Or even vinyl. I'm starting to use a lot of vinyl in my cards, and actually I started working on another card I want to show you maybe on Monday that is a snowflake card, and I'm using glitter vinyl on it. These cards are sized for A2, so approximately A2. So their width is, let me just check, I think their width is 8.5. Yep, the width is 8.5. Okay, so let's cut both of these together. Perfect idea. Okay, and this is what happens. So these are the white pieces. I don't know why it comes in cream. I cut them in white. Here are the black pieces. We've got the Santa head and then the 2 pieces for the snowman. This is one color that comes in. It's I cut it in pink because it's like the face of Santa. There we go, the face. And then we've got our 2 bases. Now, here's something that's interesting. If you have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that you want to cut both bases out of, so you don't want them to cut 2 on a page, all you have to do is change the material size. Material size is over here. Right now it's set for 12 by 12, but I can choose 8.5 by 11 and watch what happens. So there is our material here, and there's our material there. If I don't like the way that that works, I can go back to my 12 by 12 easy. but it turned it around. I don't know why I turned it around. So I can do it this way. Yeah? Okay, yeah. So I do it this way. Remember, we can move things around on your mats. I don't know why I turned it around. It's a little weird. But okay. All right. So here's our two bases. And there's our two pieces for the red. I'm going to hit continue. We always use medium cardstock, or I always use medium cardstock, which I have set at my favorites. But if you need to use, if you're using your Explorer, this would be a dial option. So cardstock plus. Or if you're using a maker, you would go to browse all materials and it would be listed under cardstock right here. You see I have starred medium cardstock because it's what I use all the time for these types of cards. We have to pick, oh great, thanks Dorothy, appreciate that feedback. So we have to pick a good background that's going to work for both. I like this one, this snowflake one. That's going to work for both of these. You could certainly use that. This is kind of cute too. I kind of like the vintage look of this. But I think for these two, I think I'll choose that snowflake. I think that snowflake will look good for the background of these. Okay. I'm going to move you over so you can see how I put this on the, of course I ripped the snowflake door. Rita, here with the program. All right, hold on. I got to fold it when I rip it out of the pen. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to move you over, all right? All right. Okay, we're back to our machine. There we go. So we need 5 different pieces of cardstock. We need black, red, pink for the face of Santa, and white. And then we need our base card. So let's get them all set up. Now, one thing you want to consider is you do not have to cut in the order of the mat. If you, for instance, are using different kinds of materials. So, for example, if you're using glitter as a layer, or as someone suggested, using the party foil, for maybe the red, which is a great idea. You have to set the base material to party foil, right? So what you want to do probably, so you're not jumping all around, is to cut those mats that are all the same. So medium cards. So if you have multiple materials, you can jump around on your screen and just cut out the mats for that material. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we don't have to go in order that's suggested. And I do that a lot of times. And you can tell you won't get mixed up because as you cut each mat, a little check mark. Is it, Penny? Sorry. You know what? I got this new phone and it's actually smaller. There we go. Let's try that. Still? What do you think, Penny? Still, or camera is blurry? Is it still blurry, guys? I got this new phone and, oh, that's really blurry. And unfortunately, it's smaller than my old phone. It's a little bit sideways. All right, still, okay. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah. All right. So I got this new 11. This is what I mean about I'm not very tech savvy, is that, so I'm using the same tripod thing. All right. No, there it is there. I got to figure out, or I just have to buy a new tripod. So bear with me here. All right. Yeah. Probably not best, but that's the reason why it's doing that, because I changed the angle a little bit and so it slipped down in the holder. Okay, so we're going to cut this out. So we're going to start with the white. Nothing special about this. Just going to cut these out real good. And I'm going to use fast mode so that it'll go real quick. Fast mode is a little toggle switch on your screen. It makes it, something is just in the viewfinder on the bottom. Yeah, if this here part, this part that's showing is probably bottom of the screen. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fix that while we're cutting, but I can fix it when we go back to the screen, okay? Sorry about that. I definitely have to get new equipment or something, because I just got this new phone, which is slightly smaller. I used to have an 8 Plus, and this is a 11. I thought it was going to be better. It really isn't that much better. I don't know. And while I was doing that, accidentally, it's cutting the red. Isn't that funny? So this is what I get for being so disorganized this morning. It's cutting the red. I'm going to take this out because I don't want this. See, it's cutting red on the white. Don't want that. I'm going to fix it though. I'm going to get some new equipment and I'm going to fix it. Or I have a friend who's a little more tech savvy than me coming later today. So I can ask her how she would solve the problem. Okay. All right. I wasn't paying attention. So I really wanted to cut the white first. So I have to go back, look at my screen before I put it in. Okay, here we go. You know you're cutting what mat you're cutting is because it's slightly less shaded. It's like the gray color. That's how you should know on your screen. I wish I could show you that, but then I don't want to end up with another problem. Okay. So we're going to be cutting out. There's nothing really super interesting about this part except, you know, we'll cut out on the 5 different mats and we'll end up with 2 cards. The only thing I really want to show you is how we're going to put the pattern paper. So here's our pattern paper, but remember we're gonna cut on the white because we want our sentiment there. Let me just get a getting the mats together. If you have one mat, you might want to consider investing in more than one mat. I actually work with a bunch of mats, so I don't have to clean them as often, and I sort of rotate them in, which is great for if you're doing a big job. You can get the mats prepared ahead of time, you see. And by the way, you know, I know I've told you this before, but you can clean your mats. Cleaning them with just soapy water and a little bit of a scrub from like a sponge will really make your mats a lot stickier, because especially if you're working with paper, you'll notice that you'll have to do this a lot more than if you're just working with vinyl, because vinyl doesn't have that same paper lint that, see, here we go, doesn't have paper lint like we do when we're cutting with paper, obviously. So I'm going to put the black one in, just cutting them out. So you can, for sure, and I don't know if you can see up real close, but this is paper lint. And if you start, if you clean this paper lint off, it basically restores the stick. You're not adding stick to it, it just restores the stick. It's sort of like using a lint roller on your clothes, I think. That's the way I would do it. Okay. So there's our snowman, there's our Santa. Santa the white is in 3 pieces because he's got that beard. Oh, I'm glad. So you did try that, Constance. Awesome. So I'm just taking my pieces off and putting them over here in my workspace. I'm not mixing them up because that's a problem if you're working with 2 different designs. The black is done. So now it's time for the pink for Santa's face. Throw that in there. And again, this is a scrap cut from an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. Now it's really getting annoying here. I've got to fix that. Okay. Okay, the black we did. So here's the black done. I'm going to take those pieces off. And when you're taking pieces off of the mat, it's best to curl the mat instead of this. As this now, it has a little bit of a curl to it, but not quite so much. See how I am like folding and curling? Okay, so Paulette's asking about the purple mats. Purple mat is a strong grip mat. And there is a standard grip mat that's green. I honestly, I'm lazy and I don't like to clean my mats, so I use the strong grip mat for everything. Now, it's not what Cricut recommends, but for me, because I work, this is my system. Hi, doggy. This is my system. I do use the purple mats for everything, and they last longer. But when you're first using it, they're really sticky. So, so that's, sort of I don't feel like the green mats, I mean, I've been doing this for years, and the mats have changed. And I remember once talking to somebody at Cricut about the formula they use for mats, and they do use different, have tried out different formulas. They used to have mats that had flowers on it. They used to have mats that were light green with a bigger grid mark. So they do change it around. And for some reason, the one that they're using now for the green, I don't feel like it's sticky enough, So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Okay, this is the patterned paper side. All right, and I'm putting the patterned paper down. I'm using my scoring stylus. And first it's going to the scoring. And then I need a pen. So it's going to ask me for a pen in a second after it does that 2 score lines. And I know you can't see my screen, but it's telling me to swap out. Okay. So now it's going to do the writing. And it doesn't matter that it's 2 different writing. I don't know if anybody would think, oh, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It does the writing just fine on those 2 different cards. I'll just take you back so you can see this. So see, there's our base, and it's cutting. It's doing the scoring. Then it's going to do the writing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you down here and show you how to assemble this card. These cards, I should say. I want to make sure it's in view. Okay, because we still have red to cut, but you don't need to see that. All right, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, watch out for my little Cricut cutie. Okay, so here's our Santa here, and our, whoops, I messed up. So there's the snowman, and here's the Santa. And you can assemble these like embellishments ahead of time before putting it on the base, which is what we're going to do. And we have to just wait for the red pieces. So Santa goes together like this. It's really interesting. So this is his beard, and there is a little like kind of pop out so you can see the black, which gives that sort of, shows off those little curly cues in his beard. Then he has this piece, which is his face. And it actually creates a space for his mouth. And then this piece, which is his like skin, I guess, the jolly skin or whatever. And this piece goes on here. And then there are red embellishments. There's this red embellishment. There's a nose and a mouth. I think there's a red embellishment for the Santa hat, but I'm not sure. Okay, there's a lot of red embellishments for the snowman, but so this is what happens. His white part comes down here, and you do leave a little bit of black showing. You're not going to put it straight up against the black, okay? But this one you are going to kind of put closer. And you'll see how the black defines the mouth, and it sort of defines the buttons. And here is the hat, like this. And then once we get the red pieces like on the earmuffs, the scarf, and the mittens will give it a much better look. So it's finishing up the actual pattern, the base of the card, and I'm going to throw the red into. Okay, have you ever had a problem with the side you put your scoring pen in, loosening up and have your pen? Yes, that can happen, Julie. And have your pen pop out when it's working so it does not score all the spots it's supposed to. Yes, Julie, that can happen. Hold on just a second. Let me throw my red mat in there. Okay, so Julie's saying that the left-hand clamp, which is actually clamp A, can you have a problem where it comes out? First thing you want to do when you're putting in either your scoring or your pen, when you're working with an explorer or a maker, is you need to support that clamp. You need to have like a finger sort of lifting the clamp up before you put the pen in. And then you have to have the pen pushed down so that it clicks. You'll hear or feel a click. And then you can close it. Now, sometimes that clamp, if you weren't putting it in properly by holding the bottom, sometimes that clamp will come loose because it actually has a couple of screws there. So if you need to, you might need to get a screwdriver and sort of tighten that clamp a little bit. I remember one of my machines, the clamp always stayed open no matter what I did. So I had to get a little screwdriver, and on the top of the clamp, there's actually 3 screws that you can kind of tighten up. But it's really super important for it not to get to that point. And so to do that, you need to support it in your when you're putting it in. You need to support that clamp. Does that help, Julie? With that? Yes, it can definitely happen because it is actually like a clamp that has screws in it, right? So I got my red. I'm just gonna put these pieces on here. So he has 2 ear muffs and his nose, which is this tiny, tiny piece. And then we've got the mitten, which I wasn't watching, and it kind of got a little messed up. So mitten, and this mitten, and then the 3 pieces that make up the scarf. And also, what you can't see, it's off to the side, but here is our base. So that cut out and wrote and did the scoring. You see that? Okay. So let's go ahead and put these pieces together, and then we'll put them on the base and we'll be done. Super, super easy. Now, sometimes when you have little tiny pieces, they don't cut out properly. I do often will use like a little pick to take that out. And if I can't get it, I will cut it. And Lori Jo, if you're still with me, maybe this is what you were talking about when you cut this out. I don't know. Tell me. Lori Jo posted this in our group. If you're not part of the group, it's really worth it to be there, because even just for Lori Jo, she's one of the moderators in that group, the Miss Rita to the Rescue community group. And she's often does the projects that we do here and post them. Or she'll do a project that I have planned and post them. And she mentioned earlier in the week that she was having trouble cutting this out, or the snowman out. And I wonder, sometimes it just doesn't cut out right, you know? Sometimes the issue isn't your blade or your mat or the materials, but actually just the design. It's rare, but it does happen. So all I'm doing here is I'm using glue to affix these pieces. These white pieces could have been done in glitter even if we wanted to, or glitter vinyl in white. You know, I have a lot of vinyl. I get a lot of vinyl because Cricut will send me the vinyl, and I have to admit, I just love paper, and so I don't often work with the vinyl. So yesterday, as I was playing around in preparation for today, I was like, you know, why don't I use more vinyl like I used the party foil the other day? Why don't I use more vinyl in my paper cuts? And it really got me off on this really awesome tangent. And I started thinking, yeah, you know, I could do this for, whoops, I didn't do this right. Santa, let me look at your face. Yeah. Oh, I didn't do it right. Ha, how do you like that? There's a white piece, goes here. So, distracted again. Foiled again. All right. So Santa goes like this, the 3 white pieces. I know it looks goofy because we then have to put this on here, and that will show up behind it. All right. And then his mouth goes here, and his little nose, his cherry red nose goes on top there. Move it around to fit. Is that right? Yeah. And his mouth goes along this edge. Too much glue. Oh, but I'm rushing. Okay. And then we have our base, which there's our score line right here. So we're going to fold it at that score line. All right, so there is going to be our base. And then we're going to take Santa, whoops, and we're going to put him on there. You're going to do a much better job because you are not rushing for the camera. So just keep that in mind. I'm sure that there are little embellishments you could put on there as well. Maybe you have some glitter glue you want to add to it. That's fine too. But there is our completed Santa card. Yeah, so Charla, is it? Charla's asking about the glue. Oh, look at there. Doop, doop, doop. So it's not showing through. Okay, so Charlotte's asking about the glue. This is a glue that I use. You don't have to use this glue, obviously. You can use whatever glue. And there's a lot of really wonderful glues out there. But this is the one that I use. It's called Art Glitter Glue. And it is not available in the craft stores, at least not yet. Maybe it will start some kind of a movement and they'll start carrying it in the craft stores. But it's made by a company called Art Glitter Institute or Art Institute. It is great. It comes in a larger bottle and you can refill. It does have a really fine tip and an even additional tip that you can put on there. And it's great. It's made for paper crafts. There's no glitter in it. And you can buy it on Etsy, and you can buy it on, let's see, buy it on Etsy. I often have purchased it on Create for Less. And what's the other one? Amazon, but I think the prices on Amazon are kind of expensive. So I would go instead to Etsy and support a local crafter or something, support another crafter, because it's sold by other crafters. I don't know what I should probably contact them because I always am promoting it. But it's a great glue. It dries clear, and it's just really good. It works great with paper. Someone introduced me to it last year, and I was like, I love it. And you can use like Elmer's glue. And I would not use, say, or they have Scotch has one, but I would not use a glue stick. Some people use glue sticks. Glue sticks, in my experience, dry out, and I like to keep things for a long time. I suppose if you're going to make a card and you just want to, get it out there, and you don't care about longevity, then you can use the glue stick. But I think it dries out and it cracks, and it makes your project look, after a while, it ages your project really a lot. And I just don't like it. So I have never used glue sticks. I have used tape runners, but I find them to be very expensive. But I've also used Scotch brand, Zig brand, trying to think of what else. The AdTech brand, that's a clear one. I've used them a lot, but I just love this one. This one is really just the best, in my opinion. And you can find it on Etsy, Amazon, or Create for Less. All right, so now I'm just putting the red accents on. See, that piece got kind of a little messed up, but I only tell you that because you're fellow crafters. I would never point that out to somebody else. And we put our little, I hope I got the other piece, the side piece. I did put it aside. Is it under here? Oh. How did I lose that so quickly? Here's the nose. It's tiny. I didn't lose the nose. Pooh. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here's the little nose. Okay, so I'm using a little tweezers just to get the nose on there. Beep, because of my fat fingers. But, there we go. And he still needs his scarf, but I'm missing the other piece of his earmuffs. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, poop. Oh well, we'll just imagine, okay? And this is what he ends up looking like. Oh, you got some. So Eladra got some of our good glitter glue. Where'd you get it? Did you get it on Etsy? Or did you go through Amazon? Or so people can follow your lead. Let me know. All right. So he doesn't have a couple pieces. Oh, well. I'll find them around here once you're gone. But, okay. So there are two really adorable cards. There's a Santa, and there is the snowman with the sentiment inside so that it doesn't show on the front. All right? And Eladra's saying she got her her glue on Etsy. I think that's the best place for it. So, and this is the back, which is, you know, I mean, this is a kind of card. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was saying, you know, I would pay like $5 for this card at Target or wherever he'd go. And it's like true, you know, and then you have that feeling of accomplishment that you made it. And now everybody, if you don't have made, it's painful to me to buy a card at the store because I like to make my own. And so I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm like, I'm not paying $5 for that card. I could make that. And when I was in the soap business, I used to say that all the time, like, I'm not buying somebody else's soap because I could just make it at home, which is kind of a snobbish thing to do. But especially for cards, because I feel like, you know, I have this wonderful machine called the Cricut. Anyway, so tomorrow, date night, 7 o'clock here on Facebook, we are doing glitter ornaments. We're going to glitter those ornaments. I'm going to show you how to put the vinyl on the top, how to find little things to put the vinyl on the top. And it's just going to be a fun night. I hope you can come. 7 o'clock here on Facebook. We do not have any prizes this week because they're coming up at the end of the month. So I already did all my prizes. For next month, we're going to do tools. We're doing tools next month for giveaways. I want to give away a bunch of the personal trimmers and scoring styluses because I think that's just an awesome tool to have, and some people haven't been able to get it. It's now in stock, so we're going to do that for next year, okay? Next month, sorry. Thanks everybody for coming today. I'm sorry I took so long. Sorry I'm a little flustered today, but I really appreciate you your presence and your feedback. I really do appreciate it, and I thank you, and we'll hope to see you tomorrow on date night, Cricut Date Night, okay? Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day.